What's the biggest problem with your fundraising right now? And what do you need to fix? If you don't know, I'm going to give you 7 numbers to track so you know exactly why your fundraising isn't working and how to fix it. And you don't need to write all these 7 numbers down while you're watching this video, because if you just raise your hand below, I'll give you my KPI tracker, which has these 7 numbers in it and a place for you to enter your organization information so you know how you stack up. If you don't know me, I'm Dan Johnson with Next Level Nonprofits, the small nonprofit fundraising expert. I'm a 4 times executive director, and I've personally raised over $3 million for small nonprofits. These are the 7 numbers that I use with my clients all the time, and you get to use them as well. Now, why do these numbers matter? Because when I ask people, what is the number one thing going wrong with your fundraising? They will often tell me, well, we're not raising enough money. But money is the final indicator. Money tells you something's wrong because you're not raising the money you need to raise, but it doesn't tell you what's wrong. These 7 numbers will tell you what's actually going wrong with your fundraising so that you can start to figure out how to fix it. Now, as a quick note, these KPIs are the bare minimum. We're going to do them for small organizations without a staff. If you're a small organization with a staff, double the first 2 numbers because you're going to need to be putting in that kind of work in order to raise the money that you. All right, the 7 KPIs for fundraising success are, number 1, number of hours per week. Your team should be putting in at least 10 hours per week in a fundraising campaign in order to be successful. There are meetings to be made, there are conversations to be had, there are materials to be created. If there's not at least 10 hours a week per person working on this, you're likely going to run into a lot of issues. Number 2, prospects per week. You should be bringing in at least 10 new donor prospects every single week for your organization. If you're not, you're going to risk holding on to every single potential donor as if they were your last. And that makes you come across as desperate, and that makes your fundraising less successful. Number 3 is contacts. Contacts are the number of times you reach out to someone, or the percent of times you reach out to someone who says they're interested in your organization and might be a potential donor. So you should have 100% of the people who are saying, I'm interested, I want to give, I want to sign up for your email list, 100% of these people should be getting a message from you or a member of your team. Then you have response rate. You're aiming for about a 50% response rate if this person contacted you and reached out to you. Now, if you're doing mass outreach, there are response rates all over the place. For those, you can find those. But a good number is about 50% of the people that you reach out to should reply. Otherwise, your issue is there. Number 5 is meetings. You should have about 30% of the people who express interest get a meeting with you to learn more about your organization. Number 6 is pledges. Pledges are people saying, yes, I will give you money, but that's not yet money in the bank. So we're aiming for about 12%. So of the 10 people who you brought in that week, you're looking at about a little over 1 of them to say, yes, I commit to giving you money. And then finally, gifts. You're looking at exactly 10% of gifts as your baseline. Now, really good fundraisers can get potentially 2 out of 3 of the meetings could turn into gifts. But if you are not super experienced in fundraising, this is something you're aiming for is about 1 in 3. So of the 30% who meet with you, about 1 in 3 turn into a gift. If you look at each of those numbers, it will tell you exactly what's going wrong in your fundraising. And sometimes it helps if somebody else has already written down the information for you. So if you want the KPI tracker so you can have these numbers, present them to your board, or track your own progress so you can stop spinning your wheels on things that don't matter and start focusing on what's actually going to fix your fundraising, drop KPI below. I'll give you my KPI tracker. And as always, this is Dan, your small nonprofit fundraising expert, and I'll see you on the next video.